Hello, crafty crafters. How are you? This is Karen with Creative Paper Artisan. Thank you for joining me. Today, I'm going to do something a little bit still paper oriented, of course, but not so much junk journaling and scrapbooking kind of stuff. Today, I'm going to kind of lean towards my tagline, if you don't know, is paper crafting for a beautiful life. And to me, that kind of includes pretty things in your home. So today, I'm so excited. I've been wanting to do this for a while. We are going to make light switches, covered light switches. It's not as crazy as you might think or complicated. It's going to be really simple. All you're going to need is a paper pattern that you like, Mod Podge, and your switch covers, your light plate cover plates, whatever you call these things. So I'm going to use this paper, which is from my Wintertide Tales kit. And I am going to put these in my dog room. Yes, my dogs need a beautiful space too. So, and I think I can get 2 out of this. Yes, I can. So, all right. As cute as this is, I mean, if you wanted, I was thinking, you're able to make your own covers, right? So why wouldn't you do seasonal ones, right? Because you switch out your pillows, Christmas pillows, fall pillows, rugs, whatever. We switch out other things. So how fun would it be? I might have to start doing this. How fun would it be to have light switch covers that you can change out for the seasons? Yeah, I think it's something that needs to become a trend. I really do. I think it would be fun. So if I'm not going to be doing that right now, but if I were, these guys actually would be really cute. This would fit quite nicely to put on a light cover like this. Maybe I'll do that later. I don't know. But these colors are going to look great in my dog room. So I'm gonna stick with this. All right. So first things first. Where's my scissors? Okay. So, and these are 2 different sizes, as you can see. They're on 2 opposite ends of the room, so I guess it won't matter. But I'm going to say you're going to need to cut about 1/2 inch larger than your switch plate. So that's going to be, I'm just going to go ahead and cut, and this doesn't have to be completely straight here. So, but I'm going to go ahead and cut these little guys off. I'm going to save them for another day or another project. Cute. But for this, and I think if I just cut this in half, that'll give me what I need. Let me see. That one seems to be, I cut it in half. The printer didn't print. It printed closer to this edge than this edge. I don't know why it feels like this side is bigger, but doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. So I'm going to cut it in half. Let's see my line here. Sometimes my ring light helps, and sometimes it doesn't. It kind of glares on me. All right. So let me decide which one I want and how I want the pattern. The pattern is very subtle, so I don't know if you can really see it on here. But I kind of want this, since this one's bigger, I think that'll work better with this one. Yep. Let me go ahead and center it up as much as I can, and then we'll kind of chop off about there-ish. And then I like the writing there, so we'll keep most of that and chop off here-ish. I cut straighter than I draw. That's okay. All right, so let's do this one first. Let me get my little cutting mat. Okay, so now you can probably guess what's going to happen next, right? Well, if not, hang tight. Hang tight. So we're going to center it. And I'm going to I'm going to draw where the little hole is. And then, whoops. And then I'm going to draw kind of a diagonal right there. Again, this does not have to be really precise right now. And I'm leaving a little bit of space because, as you can see, I don't know if you can see. Let me readjust this here. There's a curve to this, right? It's not just straight. So we need to have enough paper that's going to reach around. So, oh, well, just so that you can see here. So I drew the line right here, which is not right to the corner, but that's good because we want it to wrap around and kind of go past that corner. So again, doesn't have to be really, really precise, but you need to take that into account. So I'm just kind of loosey-goosey drawing my lines here, and I can always trim it down more. But what I can't do is put some paper back if I do it if I do it too much. So just kind of fold it up. There we go. Okay. All right. I'm going to cut these. All right. And then where I drew my little rectangle, I'm going to take my X-Acto knife, which I suddenly can't find. Oh, there it is. Okay. So what we're going to do here is draw or actually cut an X from this corner to this corner and then that corner to that corner. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Hang on. Okay, yeah. So I want to make sure this is not rounded. So it is going to come, right up to it. It is a little bit thicker though. So, oops. So let me see. Yeah. Let's go ahead and cut it from this corner to this corner. And then from this corner to this corner, to kind of keep it a little stabilized here because it's going to want to pull up when you when you cut through that other line that you just cut. So, okay. All right, now going to erase the rectangle. I think I did it a little bit dark, but that's okay. It should come up. I got a little bit enthusiastic with my pencil. All right, so just to show you, we're going to glue all this down, but just to show you, this is going to fold in like this, right? But we'll probably do that last because I want to make sure it's going to be in place. So let me get my Mod Podge. And in case you were wondering, like I was, is Mod Podge flammable at all? I'm a worrywart, and I always think, what is the worst case scenario? What if Mod Podge is flammable and, it gets a little hot with the electricity? Of course, if your switch plate is getting hot with electricity, you have other issues that you might want to address. But Mod Podge is not flammable. It's the only thing that I read was that it may melt if things get too hot, but it should never, of course. If that's happening in your wall, you've got bigger issues. So there you go. Just in case you were worried about that, because I was. Okay, let me get something to protect this. And, okay, all right. So I put it in a little cute little pot here because it's a little bit easier to see than getting in there like that. Okay, so we're just going to cover, give it a good coat. I think the best way to do this is upside down so that I can see. I think I'll be able to see my my little X there better from the back side. Get some of that. Okay. All right, I think that works. I think that works. All right, now I'm going to gently bend all this back. And then just kind of one side at a time, get the edge really good. Get it good and goopy. And then bring it up on over. Good and goopy. And then fold that puppy over. Make sure it's nice tight against it. We don't want any bubbles happening here. All right. And then fold it on in. There's going to definitely be some more trimming that we're going to have to do, but I'd rather have extra paper than not enough. All right, let's see how it looks from the front. Nice and neat. Oh, yes. That's going to be so pretty. Okay. All right, I'm going to do the other long side first. Okay, so now folding this over, we're going to have a little bit, I do have extra, but like I said, I'd rather have extra than not enough. So now I think what I'm going to do, I don't want it to be too thick. So I think what I'll do, I don't want to cut too much off because I want it to be covered, but I don't want too much thickness either. I don't want much, do I? All right, so I'm actually going to slice it right here. It'll give me a better feel of what I'm working with. Just this little corner here. Okay. All right. And then if I were to fold it like this, I would have that bit peeking out, but I don't want that. I want that tucked in. And it'll tuck in better now that I cut it. Kind of like a present. All right. You see how the corners actually look pretty nice and neat. This one maybe needs a little bit of help there, but so there we go. Okay. That works for me. So let's get this one glued down. Go ahead and glue those little corners too. And the goopier, the better, kind of the wetter, the better, because you'll be able to, the paper will be more pliable, but then you also have to be careful because it'll rip easier. So you have to be gentle. You have to be gentle. Okay, let me get my wipes here. Getting a little bit too goopy. All right, so how's that looking? Looking pretty good. Okay, so now let's do the same thing here. Looking good. All right, so now let's tackle the inner rectangle there. And I'm just going to put a little bit there. That was actually too much. Too much. Just kind of use your fingernails. And there's not much paper to work with. I mean, there's not much to grab onto. So it may not stick right away. Might be good to get a little bit on the paper too, just to make it softer and more pliable. Look at that. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And you can just tweak the corners a little bit with your fingernails. Okay, so now let's make it more permanent. Put this on. I'm going to do the front first. So I'm just going to Mod Podge all over. Oh, wait, hang on. Before I do that, we are going to need to poke the holes there, or else it'll be hard to get those screws in. So I'm just going to use, what am I going to use? I'm just going to use a pencil, really, like a mechanical pencil. You can kind of see in the light where it is, where the hole is. Well, at least I can. You can't probably from where you're at, but yeah. So I'm just going to just poke the hole like that. There we go. And there's not much to do about wrapping that, but that's okay. The screws, we're going to cover that up. And also, while we're at it, when you put the screws, now the white ones are actually going to work, or these are kind of cream colored. They're going to work quite nicely with this. But if you have like a different, a very colorful paper and the screws kind of stand out a bit, you can always dab some paint on there, acrylic paint, just dab it on the top. And voila. That'll help it blend in more. So, okay, now we are ready to just Mod Podge all over this sweet little switch plate. Okay, so I kind of want to make sure it's all going in the same direction. I mean, it'll dry clear, but, you know, I don't know. I kind of want it all, just in case the brush strokes do show. I want it all to be clear. But, you know, if you were going to be doing something kind of like abstract or kind of funky, having the brush strokes going in different directions might be actually kind of cool, honestly. Okay, now this would be the time, if you don't like your corners, if you want to manipulate them a little bit, now would be the time. I'm pretty happy with my corners, so I'm just going to leave them like that. Okay, so I'm going to do my other one off camera, and then we're going to do a double switch plate using tissue paper. Yep, it's true. And then we're going to do something extra to it. So let me work on my second one and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. While my other two are drying, we are going to work on a double one. But don't be scared. I mean, it's basically the same thing, except that you're doing two squares, right? Or two rectangles. But what we're going to do differently about this one is we're going to use this beautiful, beautiful tissue paper. You could use napkins, but I just love this. This is a Tim Holtz thing that I got. I got it literally years ago, and I've looked for more of it, and I haven't been able to find it. I hope he still makes it, because I'm kind of getting low, but I love it. So, but this one is going to be a gift. And I want to show you guys another idea. And that's kind of the major point I want to make with this is what a great gift idea, right? With Christmas coming around the corner, what a neat personalized gift that you can make for somebody. And then again, like I said, seasonally, I mean, every time you switch your decorative pillows on your couch, make a cute little switch plate for that season as well. I mean, I'm kind of in love with that idea. So, okay, so now I need to figure out where I want to put this. Since it's tissue paper, it's a little bit easier for me to see through exactly where everything is going to fall. I really like these guys with the nest, but I need to kind of keep in mind where the holes are going to be. I think that actually works really well right there. Obviously, some things are going to get cut off, but this will show most of them and the nest. So yes, this is it. This is the one. Let me get there we go. Get my scissors. And honestly, because this is so thin, it's either going to be easier to work with or harder. I don't know. Definitely won't have as much thickness to deal with on the corners. But I think this is going to be gorgeous. Okay. Let me get my little mat out. Okay. Now I'm going to draw my little rectangles. I don't want to cover up any. Let me see. I want them to show as much as possible. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Now, what I don't know is if my pencil will show up very, very well on this. Enough. You probably can't see it, but I can, I think. I think. Yeah. Okay, so maybe I should do it. I'll do it on the back because I'm already losing it. Okay, let me do that again. I just don't want to hold it up to the light here. Yeah, just about there. I think I'll show it better here because the pattern is not as dark. Yeah, okay. All righty. All right, so let me get this gooped up. And because this is a light color, this will work nicely. I mean, most switch plates are white or cream anyway, so that should work just fine. All right, let me get this goopy. I want to make sure you cover every inch because you don't want any dry spots or else it won't adhere at all. Okay, all right. I thought maybe I could do that since it's so transparent, but once I touch that down, it is going to stick. So I want to make sure that I have it exactly where it needs to be and kind of watch it because it can get a little slippery. I didn't do too much on the side, so I would have something to grip. But all right, I know you can't see my rectangles, but I can, so I'm going to go for it. Yeah. Oh, that sticks. That sticks immediately. Now with the tissue, it may you may get a few wrinkles, but honestly, I don't mind it. I think that adds to the look. Honestly, I definitely don't want any bubbles, and I don't have any huge wrinkles, but I have a few little wrinkles, and I kind of like it. So lucky me, huh? Okay. All right, so let's get that out of the way. Let me cut my little X's. I'm going to cut them. I know I did it before, didn't I, last time? But because this is so thin, I think it's going to be better for me to do it like this. Okay. So now for this part, like I said, it's so thin, there's not going to be too much bulk. So I'm not as worried about how much I'm cutting off. Honestly, I'm going to cut this a little bit so it's a little more even. But yeah, we can bunch it up at the corners and it'll, so to speak, and it'll be, I think, just fine. Okie dokie. Oops, it's sticking to me. All right, so now let's make sure. See, I mean, look how thin that is. I could just bunch it up all up in the corner and it wouldn't look bad at all. So, okay, let me get the sides glued down. Now, this part might be a little bit tricky. I may get this to pick it up a little bit more here. This is going to be a little bit touchy. I don't want to get my blade all glued up. Maybe I'll use my pencil next time. Maybe come up from underneath there. Actually, in this case, I think that works better. Maybe with the other paper, it'd probably be fine too. But in this case, you definitely don't want to be pulling and yanking on it because it's just going to rip. So just fold it up. Oops, fold it up like so. It sticks, once it touches that Mod Podge, it sticks like a magnet. Okay. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness. I am in love. Okay. So now we're just going to Mod Podge on top to protect it. No, wait, I got to do the holes. Hang on. Got to do the holes. Okay. Now we're going to protect it with another layer, or with a layer on the front. Okay. That is so delicate. I don't want it to stick to that where I planted it. So I'm going to kind of put it in a new spot where there's not so much glue or Mod Podge, and then hopefully it won't stick when I pick it up later. So I'm going to let that dry. And when it is dry, I will come back and I will show you another idea I had for this. All right, hang tight. Okie dokie, I am back. And it is mostly dry. I'm impatient, so I've been blowing on it, but I want to get to the decorating part. Yes, we're going to decorate it. I was thinking, why not put embellishments on it like you would for, a junk journal page? Well, not quite the same type of embellishments, but I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, let's see, this lace, front or back? I can't remember. I never know. I feel like this is the front. Okay, so I'm thinking pretty little piece of lace at the bottom, maybe overhanging just a little bit, right? And then look at these pretty flowers. I got these from Hobby Lobby, Paper Studio. Aren't they pretty? And I think it looks so good there. So, since this bird is kind of, chopped off, these guys are in great shape. I don't want to cover them up at all. But I was thinking, what if we popped a little something there, and then have the leaves kind of overhanging, just making it more interesting. So that's what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. What I need to figure out is how I want to do this. This is very floppy, so that's helpful. I think what I'll do is just glue it around like that, and then I'll just cut off the excess. So let me get my art glitter glue. And kind of eyeball where I want it. I think I'd like this much sticking out. So we'll have it wrap around at least to there. So, oops, I don't want to go too far with the glue because that part's going to stick out. Okay, let's see here. I don't want to cover up my screw hole there. So I think that should do it. That should do it, just down the middle. I'll let that dry for a minute. And let's work on the lace here. And I'm going to cut it longer and then wrap it around the back. Or at least I'll see. If we make it too thick, then it won't sit flush against the wall. So, but I want to just have a little bit of extra playroom. So, I'm going to cut it right here. And then, what do you guys think? I think having it hang over, just having some bits and pieces hanging past the typical box, the typical square, I think is going to make it so interesting. So, okay. Well, let me get some glue on the top. Okay. This is going to make such a beautiful gift, don't you think? I'm in love with the idea of giving this as gifts. Guess what all my family members are getting for Christmas this year? No, probably not. But how fun would that be? You know, you find somebody that has an interest or a certain theme or a certain look that they like and get paper that goes along with that and just make them these. The thing that I wish, well, I haven't tried it, but the plug covers, I don't think that's going to work as well because the openings are more round. And unless you use tissue paper where it's much more easier to mold, you could maybe do it with tissue paper. I think with regular paper, it would not work. It wouldn't look very well, very, very clean. So, okay, I think this is all good and dry. And so let me see. I don't really want these like sticking out, so I think I will, hang on, let me see. I'm gonna trim it like this. And then I think I'm gonna trim these two leaves off so it's just the stem. If I could cut it straight. There we go. All right. Let me glue this down. Gotta hold that for a minute. Oh my goodness, you guys, I am so excited about this. This is beautiful. I just love this paper, tissue paper. I'm going to see if I can find it. I bought it in a store. I'm going to see if I can find it on Amazon. And if I do, I will put it in the link below if I can find it. I just love it. Love it. Okay. Oh, no, that doesn't want to stick yet. Hang on. Need a little more coaxing. I think I just need to hold it longer. I'm being impatient. Imagine that. Me being impatient? No. Okay. I'm wondering if I could. I guess I could. I'm going crazy now. Going crazy with the imaginations. Let's see. I feel like maybe it'd be pretty with another piece of, I don't know. And that's not going to look right. Okay, never mind. Never mind. All right, so now Let's see, do I want this flower or this flower? I think I like this one. Well, this kind of matches the scallops on there. But that gives it that makes it pop a little bit more, in my opinion. So let me put these back. And then we will work on getting this pretty flower. Is that sticking out? Okay. Work on putting that pretty flower about there. Oh my goodness. I might not want to give this away. I might keep this one. No, I'll give it away. But I do have a thing for interesting switch plates. I have some that I've bought before, years ago. And I thought, wait a second, there's one of them that I looked at. I had bought it from eBay, actually. I mean, literally 20 years ago, literally. And I took it off and I looked at it. I'm like, wait a second. This is just paper that they've decoupaged on it. So this has been on my to-do list for years. But it was just plain. So I'm thinking adding stuff like this, even better. Okay. So now that I think about it, I don't want to, do I want to wrap it? It's not too thick. I just don't want it to stand. I don't want it to get in the way of the wall. You want it to sit flush. I think I'll just cut it. I'm just going to glue it right to the edge and then cut it right at the edge. I'm not going to play around. And then I'm going to glue it a little bit more, like all the way down, so that it's really secure there, because I don't want it to fray or anything like that, too much. All right. Oh, that one was already half glued down anyway. See? Okay. If you were to do something like this that was like super duper thin, like maybe like seam binding, or like a sheer ribbon like this, then you could fold it over, I bet. And it wouldn't hinder your, the wall getting nice and flush up against the wall. That wouldn't. But this is it's not terribly thick, but I think it's thick enough where it would kind of, tilt out, and that would bother me. So this isn't quite straight. Still have a little bit of wiggle room here. Okay. All right, so now we're going to cut. There. There. And I think to keep the ends from fraying, I'm going to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac on the edges. And there's actually a product called, what's it called? No Fray, or Fray Ease, or Fray Stop, or something. I've used it before. I don't think I have any more right now. But it's basically a clear glue, and you put it on the edge of a ribbon. And it kind of just stops it from fraying. I guess I could have used the Fabri-Tac to glue it to here. But I'll put just a little bit on the edge. just to discourage any fraying from the edge of that lace. Oh, there go my dogs. Those are the other ones. Those are the younger ones, but they're not too young. They're about 9. But they still have way too much energy. Goodness gracious. Okay. All right. That needs to dry a little bit more. But look at this, guys. How pretty is that? You walk into a room and boom, how pretty is that? All right, let me grab my other ones. I'm going to keep these plain for now. But, I was thinking, since these are going in my dog room, if I find an image, like a cute image of a dog or dogs or what have you, I could just, pop a little cutout, like a little fussy cut in the corner, right? I mean, why not embellish it like you would embellish a journal page maybe? I think that's pretty darn cute. And you know what else? If you're going to do lace, and if you really want to get crazy beautiful, what if you did dangles? Had little dangles on the, oh my goodness, that would be beautiful. That'd be like a masterpiece hanging on the light switch. I probably won't do that for this one, but that's not a bad idea either. So this one's not quite dry. The glue is eking. Again, that's what happens when you get impatient. But okay, well, there you have it, guys. I think these would make really unique gift ideas, for the person that has everything. Make them their own custom light switch light plate switch cover. Is that what I'm trying to say? Whatever you call it. There you go. I'm in love with this idea, and I will definitely be making more. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some good ideas. Thank you so much for watching. And if you wouldn't mind subscribing and commenting and clicking the bell so that you get more notifications whenever I put a new video out. And I would absolutely love to chat with you in the comments and just, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you guys watching. And I hope this is helpful, and go have some fun creating. Okay. Bye.